Good everyone, my name is Graphics. Today we want to draw another figure in isometric, which is this figure. Now the first thing I say when you hear the word isometric, what you should draw is your two axes inclined at what? Angle 30 degrees, and this is what I did. I'm going to draw this. Right, and I'll take it to this point. I'll draw this too. So these are the two axes you draw inclined that way, 30 degrees. Now you can draw the third one, which is 90, going up this way. So whereby this one represents the length, here represents the width, and here represent our height. So if you take your diagram very well and I zoom it in, what do you notice? The total length here from this point to this point is what? 70. That means from here to here is 70. So I'm going to measure my 70. So let me zoom it down. So I'll measure 70 from here to this point here is 70. Right? That is my 70. Now if you look at here also, the width, this is not the total width here, so I cannot say it is 25. But if you look at this structure here, from here to here is the total width, and that is what? 44. So I'll measure my 44. Take this down. So now measure the 44 from this point here to this is 40 and this is 44 here. Then I'm going to take them up from this point to the up of my meter, my t-square and my set square. I will draw my vertical line. I'll move to the next point also. I'll draw my vertical line. Right? Now if you look at this very well too, what is the total height? My total height here from here up here is 25. So I'm going to measure 25. So let's take it down. So my total height is 25. So with the help of my meter rule, I'll measure 25. So this is 0, 10, 20, and 25 here. Right? And I'll close it up. I'll close it up. I'll turn it here this way. I'll close it up. I'll come here too. Close it up. If you watch my previous video, you get to understand what I'm doing here. Close it up. Now it has formed a box. Now what will I do? I will start bringing out this diagram. The first thing I'll do, if you look closely, is that from here to here is thickened, which is 25. I'm going to thicken it. 25. Right? Then the next one is, look at it very well. This is let's look at it very well. 32. Right? So from the beginning to somewhere around there is 32. So what I'll do is I'll take it down. From the beginning here is 32. So I'm going to measure the 32 from 0. This is 30, 32 here. Right? It means that if you look at this very well, from here to that point 32, I'll thicken. So I'm going to thicken it. Right? Now at that point, I'm just going to draw a line on that point, like this. Right? And I'm going to take that point line up like this, with faint line on. Now if you look at this very well, right, we have 16 at the center. This 16 here. Let me zoom it up so you see what I'm talking about. So from here to here is 16, right? So what will I do? I'm going to measure, take half of this 44, because this width is 44. Half of it is 22. So I'm going to measure 22. This is 0, and this is 21, 22 here. So that is the half, right? So that half, and I'm going to measure 16, right, to the left. That means 8 to the left and 8 to the right. I measure half of it here. This is half of 22 here. So I measure 8 to the left and 8 to the right. So then measure 8 with on your meter rule. You measure 8 millimeter. 8 millimeter. This is 8 millimeter here. Let me show you. From 0 to this point here is 8, and I'll place it at the center here. I'll mark left and right. Alright, so in doing that, the height here is given as 12. Let's look at it very well. The height from here to here is 12. From here to here is 12. That means we have 12. So I'm going to measure 12 upward with my meter rule. I'm going to measure the 12. So from here to here we have 12. 10, 11, 12 is there. Right? Then this point here, if you look at here very well, this is 18. The thickness is 18. So I'm going to still measure 18 from here. Let's take it down. 18. So this is 18 here. I would. So if I should use my meter rule and just project this point here and meet where the 18 that I measured here is, right, I will join them together like this. Just like, because here is joint down here, and I'll close it up from here to sticking. Then here to sticking, and here to sticking. So from here, I'll just elongate it a little bit, but with faint line. I'll turn it like this. I'll draw here. So all this line here, I'll project them up. So you take it up. 8, 8. And here also 8. Now after doing that, if you look at this very well, you will discover that there's a thickness here. So from that same center that you have here, you still measure 12.5 to the left and also 12.5 to the right to get 25, right? So let's do that. So if I take my meter rule, I'll measure from 0 to 12.5 here, right? And I'll place it at the center here. I'll mark left and I'll mark right. So in doing that, with the help of my set square and my t-square, I'll move this to that point, and I'll thicken this one up. I'll come here also, I'll thicken this one up. I'll come here too, I'll thicken this one up. I'll come here too, thicken this one up. Now I've gotten this, right? Now what do you notice? This guy is going in. So what is the length of it? If you look at it, the depth at which it has gone in is 18. 1 and 8 is what? 1 and 8. Can you see that? 18. So I'll measure 18 inward. So before I do that, I'll just use my set square, my t-square. Come down. Use my set square, my t-square. Project this in. Project this in. Project this point in. Project here also in. Project here too in. So you take one of them and you measure your 18. So if I start from here, I measure 18. This is 10 and this is 18 here. Right? That is 18 there. So if that is 18, what will you do? If you look at what we have here, it is going straight in. So the 18 is with this, and the 18 also is with this. So I'm going to join it together. Everything I'm drawing with my 30-degree set square. So I'll draw this together and touch, cover these two. And also I'll bring this down too, to touch the line I measured earlier, right? And take it in, turn it again to this way, close it up, close it up too, get up. And what do you notice? This last point here is touching here. This last point here is touching here. So I'm going to just draw it with my ruler, or just draw it from here to come and touch here, and draw from here to come and touch here. Right? Now, if I want to do that, this one, I'll just elongate it from here. I'm going to elongate it. So I'll measure 44. So if I elongate this from here, like this, so I'll measure my thickness here, which is 44. I'll place it here and I'll mark 44. So which means I'm going to join this to this. And I'll close them up. I'll close this point up. Now if you look at this very well, you discover that, let me close it up, and close it up too. So let's look at our diagram again. Now if you look at this, I will elongate this inward here. Just elongate it this way, faint line. And if you look at it very well, this point is joining somewhere around here. So that means I'll just draw this from here with my t-square well placed. I will join this to this point. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'll close here up. And to here. That is what we are having. And at this point here is like this point, more like they are mirror image of each other. So I'll use my T-square. I'll move it to that point. I'll just take here up. Why am I taking it up? Because this guy here also is going up. Now I will just take my meter rule with faint line, since I'm not really sure. But one thing I'm sure about is that just like here is touching here, here also is touching here. So I'll just use my meter rule with the help of my T-square and Z-square. I'm going to join these two. You must use your Z-square and your T-square simultaneously for you to enjoy the process. Now if I have this way, I'll just use my faint line and join these 2 points together here. So we want to start. Now if you look at this now, I'll get the center of this point, which is 44, and I'm going to measure half of 19 and half of 25. Half of 19 is 9.5, so I'll measure 9.5. First of all, get the center. So the center of 44 will be like what we did here earlier. From this point to this point is the center that we have. So I can just come here and mark it at this point here. So with the help of my T-square and Z-square, I'll move it to that point, and I'll just draw something like this. So I've gotten the center here. So let's see what's next to do. So it says I should measure 9.5 and 12.5. So if I measure 9.5 here, from 0, this is 9.5, somewhere around here, right? So I'll come here, I'll mark 9.5, 9.5, right? Then 12.5 too. So from here I'll measure 12.5. So from that same point, 12.5, 10.5. So in doing that, now if you look at this, it's going in. So I'll just take my rule and take it to the inner one. The inner one, right? I'll take it to the inner one. That is the inner one, and this is the inner one too. And I'll bring it down with my faint line. The inner one, I mean, just faint line, and here also faint line. Now if you look at this, we have an outside one too. So let me just draw it out to touch this, and let me draw it out here to touch this. So now if you look at this very well, we have the inner one, and this. I'm using my faint line. Now if you look at the diagram very well, this is 6. Let's zoom it and see. From here to here is 6. So I'm going to measure 6 inward. So the 6 I'll measure is for the inner one here. So this is 6 here. So if that is the 6 that I'm measuring here, so with the help of my T-square, I'll place it on my Z-square. And the 6 that I measured from here, I'll just take it to this point. And I'll come here also, I'll take it to this point, right? And I will take it backward, like this. Take it backward, like this, and this like this, and just copying and pasting. So just close here up, and here up too. Now if you look at this now, this point here is dragged down, so I'm going to drag this down. But if I drag down, I can discover that this guy here is 10 downward, so I measure 10 down on this line. I measure 10 down, so let me just use this and measure my 10 down. So from 3 to 2 is 10, right? So I'll just join it to this point. And join this one too to this point. Here too to this point. Because why am I doing that? Because this one too is moved to that point. And this is coming. I'll just take this in my faint line, then I'll bring it out down to touch here and to cover here up. I'm doing this point here, and to also cover here up. Then the last, well, not the least here, is this guy here is going down. So I'll draw it from this point, which is this point. I'll drag it down. So this is what we are having. And we zoom it down. So if you found this video helpful, don't forget to click on the subscribe button, and also don't forget to draw your dimension. Thanks very much for watching.